Buddhadhamma, November 23rd, 2025. Section 4, the goal of life. This is the State of Nibbāna, 6.3, page 558. Etymologically, or the root of Nibbāna derives from the prefix out, without, finish, and ended. And vāna, to blow, to go, to move, or in another sense, a restraint. It can be used in a relation to fire or burning, meaning extinguishing, quenching, cooling, or coolness, but not extinction. In reference to the mind, it means peaceful, refreshed, and happy, an absence of agitation and anxiety. Similarly, it refers to the end of defilements, kilesas, of greed, hatred, and delusions. The commentaries and sub-commentaries usually define Nibbāna as the end of or escape of tanha, craving, longing, the desire to exist, which binds people to repeated existence. Now, this is going to be a group in the Pali language and in English, but it's good to note that in Pali, certain words can't be defined into English because it loses its meaning. When the round of rebirth, samsara vata, ends, freedom from rebirth, vivata, takes over immediately and automatically. One does not travel from place of samsara vata to a place of vivata unless one is speaking figuratively or comparatively. Ignorance, avijja, craving, tanha, and clinging, upatana, cease, and Nibbāna appears simultaneously in their place. One can say that the cessation of ignorance, craving, and clinging is Nibbāna. Avijja, tanha, and upatana disturbs the mind of unenlightened people and conceals panya, it conceals the wisdom. They entangle the mind with defilements and distort visions. When ignorance, craving, and clinging ceases, luminous wisdom arises, vijja. With such wisdom, one sees all things accurately, not through the lens of one's desires. A person's perceptions, attitudes, and personality change. A new knowledge and vision arises. Things appear that one has ever known, seen, or conceived. Because they were concealed in the shadows or because one was preoccupied with other objects. The mind unfolds and it expands immeasurably. It is clear, free, resplendent, peaceful, and profound. When the state of Nibbāna is reached, one knows this for oneself. Now, it is good to note that the definition of Nibbāna, analyses of the word Nibbāna, occur in many scriptural passages, especially. Most of these explanations are identical or similar. Further definitions include free from the jungle, the tangles of impurities, and the end of triad of dukkha, viparanama dukkha, and sankhara dukkha. free from the piercing arrows included in from the translation from the Dhamma Vicharana of Somdet Phra Buddhaghosacariya Praya. So, Nibbāna is to be seen for oneself, or to be realizable in this lifetime. It's timeless, inviting one to come and see, to be brought into, within, and realized, investigated, to be experienced individually by the wise. Ordinary people are unable to comprehend or imagine the state of Nibbāna. When encountering new concepts, people normally use previous knowledge as a basis for comparison. And in an attempt to understand Nibbāna, they create an image that is composite of pre-existing perceptions. Take, for example, a person who has never heard of an elephant. On hearing the word elephant, he may think it's a foreign word or simply nonsense. Learning that an elephant is an animal, he may consider all animals, from ants to whales, irrespective of the size or type. The image is clearer when he is told that the elephant is an erroneous land animal, with big ears, small eyes, tusks, and a trunk. This image may be close to realities or far from it. If he were to draw a picture on paper or what he sees in his mind, it is reasonable. Some bizarre mythological beast. Having never seen the real thing, he uses familiar perception to create an elaborate new image. The image will depend both on the accuracy of the speaker's description of the object and on the listener stored perception used as a component for new perception. In the case of something utterly different from anything previously perceived, and although incomparably the listener has no way to conceive of it, if he attempts to understand these things by means of familiar concepts and perceptions, the only reasonable way for the speaker to respond is by negation. Further speculation by the listeners using stored perception for comparison can easily lead to misunderstanding. He may even go so far as outright rejection, accusing the speaker of deception, claiming that the thing in question does not exist. Such rejection based on unfamiliarity and the inability to conceive of something would be ungrounded. Nibbāna is beyond everything known by ordinary people, beyond their sphere and range, surpassing cognition, influenced by ignorance, craving, and clinging. It is the state arrived at directly with abandonment of the defilements. Like sliding back a screen and seeing the sky, Nibbāna has no properties similar to things known by ordinary people. By claiming Nibbāna does not exist is incorrect. So, note, Nirvana is beyond everything known for ordinary people, beyond their sphere and range, surpassing cognition, influenced by ignorance, craving, and clinging. It is the state arrived at directly with the abandonment of defilements. Now, the following fable or story has been used to illustrate how the unknown is not necessarily the unreal. A fish and a turtle were close friends. The fish had spent its entire life in the lake, whereas the turtle knew both land and lake. One day, the turtle returned to the lake after a walk on land. He told the fish how refreshing it was to walk on land, among open fields and the pleasant breeze. The fish listened for a while, perplexed, and thought, what is walking? What is dry land? How can there be happiness without water? Certainly, it just spells death. The fish grew impatient and interrupted the turtle. Seeking clarification, the turtle explained using earth terms. When the fish inquired with water terms, the turtle could only reject them. The turtle could not find any suitable comparison, and the fish thus concluded that the turtle was lying. That the story wasn't true. Dry land does not exist, nor do fields. Pleasant breeze or happiness outside of water. The turtle spoke of something that does exist, but it lay beyond the fish's comprehension. Since the fish has never been on land, it was unable to comprehend it or understand it. Consider the distinct experience and perception arising from each of these senses. Sense impressions differ absolutely from each other and are not comparable. Sights cannot be compared with sounds, nor sounds with smells. A person blind from birth cannot understand the nature of green, red, orange, pink, or other characteristics of sight. Using perceptual knowledge from other sense bases, words such as loud, faint, fragrant, sour, or sweet would be inadequate. No one can accurately explain to a person born without the sense of smell, the quality of the fragrance, the smell of roses, citrus, jasmine. Words such as red, blue, heavy, light, fat, thin, bitter, and salty would all be unsuitable. Human beings have 5 sense organs for cognizing the world's properties. The sense objects are ramana in the Pali language. Knowledge surpassing the domain of mundane objects generally remains hidden. Even the 5 recognized sense objects are known according to desperate qualities. The lack of familiarity or an inability to conceive of something is therefore not a guarantee of its non-existence. Soon after Gautama Buddha's enlightenment, before proclaiming the law of Dhamma, he had taught this thought. Gautama Buddha says, "The Dhamma that I have attained is profound, difficult to see, difficult to realize, peaceful, excellent, not accessible by reasoning, suitable to be known by the wise." This is followed by the verse, "I should not teach what I have attained with such tribulation. This Dhamma cannot be easily realized by those overcome with greed, overcome with hatred, overcome with delusion. Beings died in lust, enveloped in darkness, avidya, will not discern that which does not goes against the current. It is subtle, profound, difficult to see, refined." So beings died in lust, or colored in lust, enveloped in darkness of avidya, will not discern that which goes against the current. It's subtle, profound, difficult to see, refined. This is a passage from the Vinaya. Despite its complexity, Gautama Buddha did make great effort to teach and explain the law of Dhamma. However, Nibbāna cannot be penetrated by mere thought. No words or perceptions exist to accurately describe and define it. Conceptualization and disputing the subject of Nibbāna only leads to misunderstanding. The correct way is to apply the teaching so as to arrive at Nibbāna and see it clearly for oneself with proper determination, rather than being inconceivable or indescribable. Nibbāna is merely difficult to see, difficult to realize, as quoted by Gautama Buddha. It is worth noting the expressions that Gautama Buddha used when he spoke about Nibbāna. The definitions of Nibbāna can be summarized in the following 4 ways. Number 1, by negation. Those expressions marking the renunciation and removal of some inferior, unlovely, or disadvantageous conditions belonging to the rounds of birth. For example, Nibbāna is the end of greed, the end of hatred, and the end of delusion. Nibbāna is nirodha, the cessation of becoming. Nibbāna is the end of tanha, the end of craving. Nibbāna is the end of suffering, the end of dukkha. Such descriptions also use the term, revealing a quality directly opposite to the attributes of vata. For example, Nibbāna is unconditioned, asankata, ageless, and deathless. And number two, by synonym, those terms indicating completion or perfection. For example, santa, peaceful, butnita, excellent, suti, pure, and kima, secure. And number three, by simile and metaphor. Similes are more often used for explaining the states and traits of a person who has attained Nibbāna than for Nibbāna itself. For example, the comparisons of an arihat to a bull leading to his herd across the river to arrive at the other end. Or to a person crossing a great ocean filled with dangers and reaching the shore. Gautama Buddha claimed that it was inaccurate to say an arihat is reborn, reappears somewhere, or is not born. He is compared to an arihat to a fire that is extinguished because there is no more fuel. There are some direct similes. For example, Nibbāna is like a tranquil, pleasant region, like the other shore, secure, free from danger. It is like a message of truth. There are many metaphors. For example, without illness, perfect health, an island freedom from danger, a cave shelter from danger. In later scriptures, composed by disciples here, there are metaphors referring to Nibbāna as a city. The magnificent city, fortress of Nibbāna, used as an oral tradition and in literary terms. The Thai idioms include great deathless citadel, Amanta Mahanakara Nivarana, and the crystal city. But these latter words are not recognized as accurate terms revealing the true states of Nibbāna. And number four, by direct explanation. These explanations occur in only a few places, but they are of much interest to scholars, especially for those who consider Buddhism as a philosophy. The varying interpretations have given a rise to numerous debates. I have presented the selection below. Epithets for Nibbāna are occasionally found grouped in a single passage. Examples of all four of these definitions are listed below. In Pali, in alphabetical order. Ahanka asukha, not black, not white, not confined to social class or caste, neither good nor bad, neither punya or papa, so neither merit or demerit, good or evil. Akata, not made, not built. Akinchana, nothing lingering in the mind, free from anxiety. Akutopaya, fearless. Akuta, immovable, undeparting. Acharya, marvelous. Achara, ageless, undecaying. Ajata, not born. Anatta, not swayed, the absence of tanha. Ananta, limitless. Anantana, no grasping. Anapara, sublime, foremost. Anaraya, without longing and absence of upatana, of clinging. Anasawa, without asava, effluence and taints. Anidasana, not seen with the eye, signless. Anitika, without calamity. Anuttara, unsurpassed, supreme. Aparokita, not disintegrating, not dissolving. Apaya, free of danger. Aputa, has not been before, wonderful. Aiti, without disease. Apaya, without oppression, free from dukkha. Aputa, not becoming to be. Amanta, deathless. Amosa dhamma, not declining, immutable. Asankilita, undefiled. Asankupa, unshakable. Asankata, not constructed. Asanhira, unshifted. Asoka, sorrowless. Aroja, without sickness, perfect health. Isariya, freedom, mastership. Kima, security, safety. Tanha kaya, the end of craving. Tatna, defender, protection. Dipa, island, refuge. Dukkha kaya, the end of suffering. Duttasa, difficult to see. Duwa, enduring. Nipunya, subtle. Nipapacha, without obstructed defilements, without papacha. Nibbāna, the cessation of defilements and all suffering. Niputi, cooling, element of affliction. Nirota, cessation of suffering. Panita, excellent. Paramata, the supreme benefit. Paramasacca, the supreme truth. Para, the other shore, safe destination. Muti, release, emancipation. Moksha, salvation. Yoga kima, freedom from bondage. Lina, sanctuary, shelter from danger. Vimuti, liberation, freedom. Vimoksha, liberation. Viraja, stainless. Viraja, the fading, cooling off, and the expiration of lust. Visuti, purity, impeccable. Satcha, truth. Santha, peaceful, still. Sandhi, peace. Sarana, refuge. Siva, highest bliss. Suti, purity. Sudasara, exceedingly difficult to see. There are many more references and descriptions for Nibbāna in the scriptures in the Tipitaka, containing verses from the disciples in the commentaries. Nidesa, Pati Sambati Maga, Derakata, Derikata, Apantana examples, as well as other later scriptures in the Atitana Patitika. Examples are listed below. Now, some of these terms are very important since they are repeatedly used as definitions for Nibbāna. For example, Sankata, Nirota, Vimuti, Viraja, Santa, and Santi. Other words are used infrequently. Some are used in only one location, others in 2 or 3 locations, so they should not be regarded as highly significant. They are included here to increase the understanding. The same is true for the translations. They provide some sense of the meaning, but they might not give a complete flavor as they lack the supportive context. It is very important many terms are familiar to people in specific time period, region, and community in which Gautama Buddha taught. And the terms were associated with their personal values or religious beliefs. When the words were spoken, the listeners probably understood the meaning completely. Sometimes Gautama Buddha used descriptive words for Nibbāna for facilitating communication while substituting a new meaning in accord with the Buddhadhamma. People outside of those time periods, places, and groups may not completely understand the meaning of these words. An important word for describing Nibbāna is asankata, meaning not constructed. Nibbāna does not exist as a result of causes and conditions. It may be claimed that Nibbāna must arise from causes, since Nibbāna is the fruits of Magga, the path, the way, or the practice in accordance with the way. This doubt can be answered briefly by way of analogy. If we compare practice for reaching Nibbāna with traveling to the city of, we can see that the city that we're traveling, which is a goal of the journey, is not the result of the path or the act of traveling, regardless of the road or the traveling to the city. But the city exists. The road and traveling are causes for reaching the city, but not for the city itself. It is the same with the path and the practice along with the path, which are causes for attaining Nibbāna, but not for Nibbāna itself. Apart from vimutti, there are many other synonyms that reveal facets of Nibbāna, as presented earlier. All these synonyms, there are two often used words that represent important properties: visuddhi and santi. Visuddhi is purity or cleanness, the absence of kilesas, defilements, taints, asavas, which tarnish and obscures, and refers to the ability to see things clearly. Santi is peace. Santi is peace, or santipat. Santi is peace. The absence of agitation and affliction, the end of turmoil. This state of mind is serene, deep, and cool, settled, self-reliant, able to fully experience the fruit of practice, and ready to be employed for action. The few passages here explain the state of Nibbāna explicitly as presented below. In some places, a story is provided in order to give the context of the Gautama Buddha's words. At one time, Gautama Buddha gave a Dhamma discourse to the bhikkhus concerning Nibbāna. As the bhikkhus were listening intently, the Gautama Buddha uttered this exclamation: "Bhikkhus, monks, there exist the spheres, ayatana, where there is neither the earth, water, fire, or air elements, nor the realm of akasha, infinite space, nor the realm of infinite consciousness, nor the realm of nothingness, nor the realm of neither perception nor non-perception, nor this world, nor the next world, nor the moon, nor the sun. I do not say that the sphere has going, coming, arising, staying, or passing away. It is neither foundation, nor movement, nor constraint. Aramana. This is the end of dukkha." On another occasion, Gautama Buddha gave a similar teaching to the bhikkhus and uttered this verse: "Indeed, ananta, the state of not inclining towards birth, jati, beginning without tanha, is difficult to see. Satcha, truth, is not easily discerned. Having penetrated tanha, craving, and by knowing and seeing satcha, the truth, there will be nothing lingering in the mind, nothing to cause mental anxiety." On another occasion, monks, bhikkhus, there is the not born, ajata, not become, abhuta, not made, akata, not constructed, asankata. If there were not the not born, not become, not made, not construction, then there could not be known the escape here from birth, the become, the made, and the constructed. Because there is the not born, not become, and not made, not constructed, therefore the escape here can be known from the born, become, made, and constructed. Another similar occasion, still being dependent, there's wavering. not being dependent, there is no wavering. There being no wavering, there is tranquility. With tranquility, there is no flavoring. With no flavoring, no coming and going. With no coming and going, no passing away and arising. With no passing away and arising, there is neither this world, the other world, nor a between the two. This is the end of dukkha. On another account, describes Gautama Buddha correcting the view of Brahma in brief. At one time, this precarious view arose in Brahma named Baka. This abode of Brahma is permanent, enduring, and eternal. It is absolute, imperishable. This abode of Brahma is not born. It does not originate, age, die, or pass away. A superior salvation cannot be found. Gautama Buddha, knowing Baka's thoughts, went to him and said, Brahma, you have lapsed into ignorance. Therefore you claim that which is impermanent as permanent, unstable as enduring, and uneternal as eternal. There being a superior salvation, you claim there is none. Then Mara possessed one of Brahma's retinue, who spoke to Gautama Buddha, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhu, do not offend Brahma. Do not offend Brahma. This is Brahma, the great Brahma, the Lord Abhihu, the unvanquished, the all-seeing one, the omnipotent, the sovereign, the maker, the creator, excellent providence, the master, father of those born and to be born. Gautama Buddha admonished Mara, finishing with, Brahma and all his company and retinue are in your hands, are in your power. But I have not fallen into your hands, nor am I under your power. When Baka maintained, I have declared the permanent as permanent, the enduring as enduring, the eternal as eternal, Gautama Buddha announced that there are many things that Brahma does not know, including the state that can be known, vijnana, not seen with the eyes, anadasana, limitless, ananda, and radiant, sapotopala, which is solidarity of earth cannot hold, the wetness of water, the heat of fire, the movement of wind cannot hold, the existence of being, the divinity of the devatas, and the rule of Prajapati, the mother Prabhati, the grandeur of Brahma, the brilliance of Abhasara Brahmas, the beauty of Supakina Brahmas, the abundance of Vekapara Brahmas cannot hold. The lordship of the Lord cannot hold. The characteristics of all things cannot hold. Baka replied to this by saying that the world vanished from sight, but he was unable to do so. The Gautama Buddha in turn said he would vanish and did not vanish. Brahma and his retinue could only hear his voice speaking. Having seen the danger in being, having seen the existence of those who seek non-being, vibhava. I do not praise any sort of being, nor cling to delight, bhava tanha, the craving for being. Another story tells of a bhikkhu who traveled through every realm until he reached the Brahma world. Seeing and answered the question, this bhikkhu had the following doubt. Where are the four great elements, earth, water, fire, and air, extinguished without remainder? He then entered a state of concentration, samadhi, and visited various deities, beginning with the realm of the four great kings, to pose this question. Unable to ask him, the gods suggested he go to progressively higher heaven realms until he arrived at the Brahma world. The Brahmas too could not answer, but said that the great Brahma, the Lord, would surely know. With a splendid radiance, the great Brahma revealed himself to that bhikkhu. The bhikkhu posed his question to the great Brahma, who provocated, I am Brahma, great Brahma, the Lord, the unvanquished, the all-seeing one, the omnipotent, the sovereign, the maker, the creator, excellence, providence, the master, father of those born and to be born. The bhikkhu continued, I did not ask you if you were Brahma, great Brahma, the Lord. I asked you where the four great elements are extinguished without remainder. Brahma replied again that he is great Brahma, the Lord, etc. The bhikkhu asked again for the third time, at which point Brahma took him by the arm and led him to one side, saying, Monk, these gods, followers of Brahmas, recognize me as one for whom there is nothing not known, seen, experienced, or realized. Therefore, I did not answer in front of them. Monks, I also do not know where the four great elements are extinguished without remainder. It is thus your misdeed and mistake that you have abandoned the Blessed One, Gautama Buddha, and come to search for the answer to the problem elsewhere. Go and approach the Blessed One, Gautama Buddha, to pose the question and accept whatever answer he gives. The bhikkhu then went to ask Gautama Buddha, who answered, you should not ask, where are the four great elements, earth, water, air, and fire, extinguished without remainder? You should ask, where can earth, water, fire, and air find no footing? Where can long and short, small and large, beautiful and repulsive find no firm ground? Where do mentality and corporality terminate without remainder? He then explained as follows. The state that can be known, vijnana, is not seen with the eyes. Anidasana is limitless. Ananta and can be reached from every direction. Sopapopala, here, earth, fire, water, air can find no footing, long and short, fine and coarse, beautiful and repulsive, can find no firm ground. Mentality and corporality terminate without remainder, because since consciousness, vijnana, ceases, mentality and corporality terminate here. The descriptions of Nibbāna are results in various interpretations and debates. Some scholars interpret the last two passages as Buddhists' attempt to combat Brahmanism by assimilation. By incorporating the Brahmanic personification of God, note that in all these passages, the Gautama Buddha was either teaching bhikkhus who had a basic knowledge of the Dhamma, or was speaking to Brahma, who is a master theologian. I will not elaborate upon these details here, but remember that this disparity of interpretation arises because Nibbāna cannot be conceived of. It must be known directly through spiritual practice. The Pali words are sometimes translated differently. The words ayatana in the first passage, for example, can be translated as fear, or some interpret it to the meaning of a dwelling place. Others interpret ayatana or other dimensions. The term vijnana in the passages 5 and 6 is considered by some to be identical to vijnana in the expression of eye vijnana, ear vijnana, etc. They thus interpret Nibbāna as some form of consciousness, defining Nibbāna as a consciousness that is not seen with the eyes, etc. In the commentaries, however, vijnana is explained in the passage to be a name for Nibbāna, the state that can be known as used above. We can see that in passage 6, the word vijnana occurs twice. The first vijnana refers to Nibbāna, which is the own distinct translation, the state that can be known, while the latter vijnana is in the phrase vijnana ceases, refers to the consciousness that is the condition for the arising of mentality and corporality as explained in the dependent origination, pati sammupata. We should refrain from drawing conclusions about Nibbāna simply because an interpretation accords with our preferences or preconceptions. If we establish firm convictions about something we do not yet clearly know, we may be greatly deceived. Rather, we should emphasize these methods leading to Nibbāna, along with the benefits of gradual liberation. This is more practical. As our spiritual practice develops, we will clearly see the results for ourselves. The following quote is an affirmation by Gautama Buddha that the realization of Nibbāna and other sublime states can truly occur. When the eye of Panya, wisdom, opens, this Gautama Buddha's conversation with the Brahmin student Supa, Gautama Buddha refutes that Brahma Buddhaghosacariya assertion that it is impossible for human beings to experience superlative knowledge and vision, nana dasana. Quote, young man, suppose there was a person blind from birth who could not see black forms, white form, green form, yellow, red, pink forms, etc. He could not see even the uneven forms, the stars, the moons, and the earth. Were he to say that black and white forms do not exist and beholders of black and white forms do not exist, the green forms do not exist and beholders of green forms do not exist, that the moon and the sun do not exist, and beholders of the moon and the sun do not exist, where he say, I do not know or see those things, therefore they do not exist, would be speaking correctly? Incorrectly, the young man replied. Gautama Buddha then continued, just so. The Brahmin Buddhaghosacariya of the Opamana clan, lord of the Supa grove, is blind and visionless, that he could not know, see, realize outstanding knowledge and vision, which is competent, excellent, and superhuman, is impossible. Although we have considered these explanations of Nibbāna, if we cannot have practice and arrived at this state, we could remember that all ideas of Nibbāna are comparable to the images of the blind man formed from touching the elephant. The story from the Pali in brief is as follows. At one time in the city of Savatthi, in Jetavana's grove, a large number of religious, ascetics, wanderers, and Brahmins of various creeds adhered to their own beliefs and doctrines as only the truth, while repudiating those of others. This gave rise to quarreling. Quote, the truth is this way, not that way. The truth is not that way, it is this way. In response, Gautama Buddha told the following story. In former times, king of Savatthi ordered his advisors to gather all those men in the cities who were blind from birth, present with them with an elephant. The advisors showed the group of the blind men of the elephant's head to another. They showed the elephant's ear. They showed the tusk to another group, the trunk, the abdomen, the legs, the back, the tail, the tip of the tail to each respective group, saying, each time this is an elephant. They then informed the king that the blind men had become familiar with the elephant. The king went to the gathering of the blind men and asked, have you seen the elephant? They replied, we have, your majesty. The king inquired further, as you say you have seen the elephant, describe it to me. Those blind men who had touched the head said that the elephant is like a water pot. Those blind men who has felt the ear said the elephant is like a willingly basket. Those blind men who have touched the tusk said a plowshare. Those blind men who have touched the trunk say a plow shaft. Those who had touched the abdomen said that the elephant is like a granary. Those who had touched the legs claimed that it was like a pillar. Those who touched the back said it was like a mortar. Those who touched the tail said a pestle. Those who touched the tip of the tail said an elephant is like a broom. When this was finished, the blind men began to argue. An elephant is this way, not that way. An elephant is not that way, it's this way. To the point of the brawling. At the end, Gautama Buddha uttered this verse. Indeed, some ascetics and Brahmins cling to such views and doctrines. People who see only one part, being contentious, argue and quarrel.